Hi, Francis here, Murtagh's Lawn Care in Kilkenny, and I just want to talk to you about weeds in the lawn. It's not a very exciting or sexy thing to talk about, but hopefully we'll learn something, and I have a few statements to make later on in the video which will probably be controversial, but I'm never afraid to say what I think. So, weeds in the lawn. If you've got weeds in your lawn, the problem isn't the weeds, the problem is the lawn. And I'm standing on my lawn here, and this was a disaster of a lawn for the last 20 years, and I just went by the book. I learned what needed to be done to get the lawn up to a good standard, and I just did that myself, and out of that I've actually started a lawn care business, and I'm starting to cut lawns now. And I'm confident now in talking to people about their lawns and what is the best management system to have. And that's the key. The key, as regards weeds, don't first go for the lawn weed killer. I have one here, and I'll just talk to you about that. Make your lawn killer the last item on your list. If everything else fails, then you can use the lawn killer. And if you manage your lawn right, in the way that the experts say you should manage it, and that's just what I'm saying, I'm just copying them. That's right, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm just copying what they're saying and what they're doing. I'm learning, I'm checking it up, and I'm really excited about what I'm learning. I'm really enjoying it. The key to a good lawn then is the grass, and our focus should be on the grass and getting that grass good and thick and healthy. And it's the same principle again with grass management. We may need to scarify our lawn to get rid of all that thatch, because that thatch is what's inhibiting the growth, affecting the roots in the grass. So you can hire one of those and just I've done that. That's what I did with this lawn. That's why I'm kind of a living example of it here. I'm talking from experience, from my own experience, and how well it's worked. So I cut the lawn very tight first, then I scarified it, hired a scarifier, up and down, both ways, 3 or 4 different passes, different angles, different directions. Get rid of all that stuff, get rid of the moss, kill the moss with iron sulfate, because lawns in Ireland are full of moss. And so we need to kill that moss as well, even before you scarify it. Spray it, wait a few days, it'll turn black, and then get that scarify and root all that stuff out. And those grass roots will be shouting as if in the middle of a football match. They'll be, or at a prayer meeting, hallelujah, they'll be saying, at last we've been given room now to grow. And even that alone will improve your lawn. And the weeds thrive in that environment. They actually thrive where the thatches, the lawn, the seeds of the weeds thrive in that. And when the weeds start to grow, then they will inhibit the grass again. Another thing, the moss inhibits it, the weeds inhibit it. So fertilizer is very important as well. I'm focusing on the grass. I'm not telling you what to do with the weeds. This is the way to treat this. It's the organic way, it's the natural way, and it works. And so fertilizer, yeah, it's very important. Get a good general fertilizer in when you're seeding your lawn as well. As part of the scarification, you'll need to throw down new seed. And when you're doing that, it's important to put down fertilizer as well, especially fertilizer that's high in phosphorus. That will encourage the root system of the new grass seeds to grow. Mowing is very, very important. It's so important. It's important not to mow your new lawn for about 6 weeks after the seed has germinated. And again, it's important not to go down too low when you're mowing, because that will damage the grass as well, inhibit it, stunt it. So it's just a question of being gentle with everything, just taking it nice and easy. So that's it really. If you do all that, the weeds now will start to be suppressed. They now will be suppressed. Like they were the enemy, and now a good enemy is coming in to inhibit the weed seeds, and as your grass thickens, the weeds will get less. Now the other thing I want to say is probably not too popular is, like, I have some weeds in this lawn here. As I started to look at YouTube, I thought I'd better go around now and dig up every lawn, every seed, get rid of every, spray this, spray that, spray the other. It's all pressure. Relax. A few weeds in the lawn is no problem. You're cutting your grass once a week, even some of you are cutting it twice a week. That's getting rid of any weeds that are there. So just embrace them, because it's at the end of the day, we're not doing any good to ourselves. Weed killers can be carcinogenic. They're not good for us. They're not good for the environment. They're not good for the little creatures that are in the ground that we depend on to feed the lawn and put organic matter into it. It's killing all that. So, just start to move away from it. Start to move away from it. Use the natural ways first. Use that. And at the end of the day, you can come along with your dicofar, which is the weed killer that I'd be using, just to spot check. If there's weeds that are not being dealt with, like a dandelion might be one. It's very difficult. Just all you need to do then is come along with your knapsack and just spot check, treat. Just give it a spray, just around the weed itself, and that's good, because you're not spraying the whole area of your lawn with chemicals. So the amount of chemicals that you're using will be drastically reduced. So I just think there's a balance. I'm not one of these people. Some people call them freaks. I'm not one of these that are hanging out of trees and hugging trees and that. I believe in nature. I believe in God. I believe in balance. I believe, we just need to come back, because we've become too reliant on chemicals. We need to come back to nature and just see, can this be dealt with in another way? Can you deal with it in another way? There's enough scientific evidence out there to say that it can, and just study how for instance, the clippings on the lawn are broken down. Forget about gathering up the clippings. Let the clippings onto the ground, because they're a source of nutrients for